RCandOP.com. I got with me Icey Dragon from
Icey Dragon 330 on Twitch and YouTube.
I got Josh from
Beefcake.com.
And I got Opie from
RCandOP.
That's right.
And Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, fuck your state.
Oh,
you had the school shooting, and then you had the bridge collapse, and then you got Scott Walker or whatever, and
what map do we want, guys?
Baby. We're going on all cylinders.
Yeah, what map do we want?
There was just a brush fire right near my house yesterday.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Should we do Burning Paris?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna play some Killing Floor 2, and at the same time, we're going to attempt to have a sort of roundtable discussion about violence in video games, because, was it last week? I think it was...
might have been 2
Yeah,
weeks ago.
well...
In the age of Trump, every week seems like about 3 months.
It's the most recent time this has happened.
After the boom time.
Yeah.
So, our president here in the United States of America had a meeting with several video game CEOs and representatives, and several psychologists and people who had written books who wanted to sell books about video game violence, because this was what we're going to do now to discuss gun control instead of actually discussing gun control.
Yeah. We're going to talk about
the video games.
virtual gun control, not actual gun control.
There's Opie. And we figured we would play the most violent game we could think of, which happens to be Killing Floor 2, while we did it. I am dubious as to whether we can actually have a decent discussion, but I'm willing to give it a try. So, I think it would be best if we all started by going around saying who we are and maybe our connection to video games and maybe our station in life, since we have been playing violent video games for at least 20 years. Wait, how old are you, Icey?
Yeah, I was going to say.
I am 23.
Okay, so at least 15 years.
Yeah, I'd say that's about accurate.
God, I feel old.
Right?
Say the thing you said earlier. Okay, so the ESRB was started in 1994. Say what you said.
That was a year before I was born.
God damn it. Opie, can you fucking ready up?
Oh, this is going to be fun.
It takes me forever to load in, man. It sucks.
That does suck.
Yeah.
Have you changed your graphics settings?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you running at? 16 by 9?
I could not tell you. It's been so long. It's always ran fine once I get in. It's just more about...
That's my ping.
I think it might be your connection at this point.
It might be.
Maybe you need to have a talk with your Comcast, Mediacom, Time Warner, whoever the fuck you have in Florida.
My internet provider.
Yeah. Okay, so, I think we should start by discussing who we are and our connection to video games. My name's RC. I have played video games since I was about 6. I basically started on Wolfenstein and Doom and games of that sort.
What the hell?
I have severe...
I'm Josh and I'm dead.
I have severe mental
dead
illness. I do not own any guns. And... yeah, anything else you guys can think of? Anything we would add into there?
No, I think that's about accurate.
Okay, Josh, you go.
Josh, I've been playing video games since 3 decades. I've been playing video games for longer than Icey's been alive. Okay.
I'm sorry.
God, I'm old enough to be your parent. and plenty of violent video games. You know, Mortal Kombat, probably the first violent video game I remember playing, but have played lots and lots and lots of them since then. Not exclusively, but certainly plenty of them. I also happen to be a therapist, as in psychologist, and a parent of a small child, and I do work with video game addicts. So amongst other kinds of addicts, those are my specialties.
I was not aware of that. We should discuss that. Actually, it's another good thing. We are all parents of children under 10.
Yes.
Sounds
Yeah.
accurate.
Okay. How about Steven?
Okay, my name is Icey, or Steven, as they said. Maybe the youngest of the group. I've been playing video games since I was probably about 6. Violent video games since I was probably 8 or 9. My parents weren't super strict on the video games I played. They didn't really care what I did, so I was introduced to violent movies, video games, things like that at a very young age. I feel like I acted out a lot when I was younger because of it, but obviously maturity and things. I do have a small child. I'm married. I've been hanging out with this group for about how long would you say, RC? Couple
2 months.
I'd say 2 or 3 months, 2.5 maybe. I've actually gotten into gaming quite a bit more with this group.
Yeah,
previous.
Icy actually met us in Killing Floor 2.
Yeah. I always have to remind you about that, and this time you reminded me. So
Yeah, right.
kudos to you, sir. But yeah, like I said, I've been playing violent video games for a very long time, and me being the youngest of the group, I feel like it hasn't made a very influential difference in my life, so to speak.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's another good thing. What about violent movies, Josh? Like when were you able to watch like R-rated movies?
Honestly, the first movie that I ever saw was a double feature at a drive-in, and it was something called The Sword and the Sorcerer, which,
Okay.
oh my God, I got nothing for money here. And it was a double feature with Sword and the Sorcerer and Clash of the Titans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sword and the Sorcerer was the second movie that was on there. I don't remember it quite as well, but I firmly remember Clash of the Titans. And I watched that movie probably 60 times. That's the movie I've seen the most.
That was with the stop motion skeleton and all that, right?
Yeah, that was Ray Harryhausen. Not skeletons so much as, you know, lots of other mythological creatures. And oh, I am in a bad place right now with no kind of ammo. I'm gonna try and get to where y'all are.
Did you have anything to add, Icy, on your introduction?
Not that I can think of right offhand.
All right, Opie, your turn.
I was a child of the 80s, and I probably started playing games at the age of maybe 5 or 6, and it was Atari. My first, I don't know what you consider violent. Mario was violent, jumping on all those Koopas.
Bastard hates Koopas.
Taking drugs, mushrooms.
Plenty of cute little turtles just being slaughtered mercilessly by Mario.
Yeah. But my first one was probably Doom. I think.
And how old were you when you played that?
When it came out, whenever that was.
I think it was
Oh,
like
sorry.
84, 88. I'll have to look real quick, but I'm living, so...
Oh, I would have guessed it was in the 90s.
No.
It was in the 80s?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Oh.
My
Okay.
thing was I wasn't, like, we didn't have a good enough computer to play Doom for a while.
Well, maybe I didn't play when it first came out because I didn't really know a lot of that stuff then.
So
I just felt like I played it.
I'm trying to save you, Opie.
More nerd. When did these guys get so big?
This is the weekly. It's difficult.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, the more damage they take, the bigger they get, and
Yeah,
the stronger
so-
they get.
So you want to
headshots,
try to do headshots,
Oh.
yeah.
if you
Awesome.
can. Yeah.
I'm like,
I was
this
confused
dude's
by
like
that.
9 feet tall.
Yeah, it's huge.
Why is the claw bigger than the boss?
Hey, Opie, can you tab out and look up when Doom came out?
Oh, I could just look on my phone.
Or can you look on your phone?
Yeah. And I was not allowed to watch violent games.
Movies?
Movies, sorry.
You're good.
Until when?
Yeah.
Until I was pretty much out of the house. But
Wow.
I did watch them.
Jesus, were you Mormon?
No. I mean, I guess I started doing it in high school.
I'm gonna get in trouble saying shit like that.
Yeah, I meant to add that. I don't mean to interrupt you, Josh. So I think the first violent video game I actually played, like, not considering something like Mario or anything, but like legit violent, was Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and
Wow.
I played that at like 9 or 10.
Yeah, my parents were not. They did not give a shit about movie ratings. So, and my dad was like a B movie fanatic. So, or C or D movie, depending. So, I mean, like I saw everything back in the day. Anyway,
93.
bullshit.
That's what I found.
Wow.
Doom?
Yeah.
Glad to see you made it home. Make
93.
the pod and gear up.
Damn.
You know what? Actually, that kind of makes sense to me.
You survived.
Let's see. I would have been 13. Yeah. Okay. Maybe.
I need you
I'm not gonna say anything.
I agree.
You were
You
a
should
glimmer.
not.
Because I remember being in high school, and you know what? I'm not, because I'm already feeling old. So
I don't think we had a computer till I was about 10. So that's
It
how
was
I
a-
knew it wasn't before the 90s. Or I was positive.
yeah, because okay. So the first computer games that I remember playing,
hurry up.
yes, they had like not Pong. Okay,
Oh.
okay. First video game console that I had did play Pong, but
Phone's closed.
We hear Josh's wife in the background.
That was a great laugh.
That was very, indeed.
okay, fair enough. So
Sounded vengeful.
first home video game console that I had played Pong, but computer games, I remember playing stuff like 11th Hour and 7th Guest and stuff like that,
Missed.
which were and like Space Quest and stuff.
Let's call that your warm-up.
Oh, I'm gonna die a lot.
Oh, fuck me.
Rainy fish died.
My bash button is not set because fuck my life.
What the hell? What is
The default bash is V.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Well, actually, I mean, I don't know, but that doesn't help.
Okay.
He's got such a beefcake he can barely get through the door.
Yep, I'm done.
Oh, that's a siren. That's a very large siren. She's gonna hurt.
Yeah, we only got 90 things left, guys.
I think
Alright.
15 of them are right here.
So, this video that they showed to the president, that the president basically made, was a lot of Modern Warfare, a lot of Sniper Elite 3 and 4, I think. Some Grand Theft Auto. Anybody else remember what else was in there?
I don't know what else was in there.
Yeah, I don't recall.
It was basically the most graphic clips of whatever games they could possibly find.
Like the Russian airport scene from Modern Warfare.
Yeah, no Russian.
Yeah, all of the Grand Theft Autos, and that's something that I get very irritated by is the first thing that you hear, like the argument wise, I guess, against violent video games is Grand Theft Auto. It's always the first thing thrown out there.
It was the original.
Yeah.
Well, the
I mean,
original
unless you're
was
looking at,
It
top
wasn't
down.
the original.
No, I was gonna say unless you're
Oh,
looking
I know, I
doing
was
the
joking.
Wolfenstein, but
Oh shit, we're surrounded. Out of
So
there.
we
yeah, I can't move.
we figured out that this is on Suicidal, by the way.
Yeah, I'm pinned in a
can
corner.
tell.
Really?
Let's quit out.
Then
Let's quit out. We'll,
I'm happy to be. I'm happy to have lived as long as I did.
We'll try to find a better server. All I saw was like 5 Suicidal servers and then like 1 hard, but the hard one was on a custom map.
Oh yeah.
Skinned alive.
All right, so what we did figure out from the video was that every single game on there was rated M.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least they looked into that.
So the important thing about that is retailers in the United States will not sell an M-rated game, or not supposed to someone under 18, or is it under 17? I forget.
Under 18.
Yeah, I think it's under 18.
It's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Let me know when you load in, Ope.
Oh well, I'm loading right now.
Well, and part of the reason why I say that's what it's supposed to be is when I was working retail, and we were selling video games, if it had a mature rating, we weren't supposed to sell it. And to a kid and to my way of thinking, that was how it worked. But I remember being specifically told, just go ahead and sell it. And I'm like, why? It's got a rating system for a reason. And they said, probably bring more hassle and problem down on us if you refuse to sell it than if you just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Yeah.
It's a toothless rating system in the United States.
Completely.
Yeah.
It's
Well, just like
basically
the movies.
I think movies are actually more diligently watched. Like
Yeah.
there are a lot
the
more
parents.
places. I think there are a lot more places that won't let a kid into definitely not an NC-17, but even an R.
Yeah. I saw that during when they were screening Deadpool. There was a lot of people who weren't able to get into the movie. A bunch of 16-year-olds standing outside of theaters going, I just forgot my ID.
Yeah. So that's another issue that I think a lot of people tend to overlook is, like, for mature rating games and mature movies and things like that, they typically don't sell them or allow, people under the age of 18 to either buy or view them unless the parent's present.
Yeah.
But then that's, I think, the other issue is it falls on the parent's shoulders of, do you think that your child or whatever kid that you're doing this for is mentally mature enough to handle this and, understand the difference between, oh, okay, it's a movie or it's a video game and these things shouldn't be done, outside of this environment.
Yep.
Come on, clown. Ready up.
We're going to wait for 30 seconds for this dude.
Probably.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, where do you guys want to go with this? Where do you want to take the discussion?
Okay, so I really want to just kind of put out there that despite all of the anecdotal, people think that there's a connection between violent video games and violent behavior. The phrase that comes to mind is correlation is not causation.
Yes.
Meaning, just because something seems, it's like, well, they all played violent video games, and that's what made them. No, you know what? They probably all ate pizza too.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that one caused the other, and that's what bothers me. And there's not been a credible study that has backed up the idea that violent video games cause violent behavior. This hasn't. I've seen this personally, just with kids who, I'll give you an example. There was a kid who, a 10-year-old I was working with, who already was predisposed to some violent behavior, and his mom at 10 gave him Grand Theft Auto to play. And one of the first things he did was found like a homeless person and just kicked him.
In the game.
Didn't really, yeah, in the game. And just kicked him and kept kicking him and kept kicking him. Oh, somebody grabbed me inappropriately. And his mom's like, no, just you want to drive around. Because I questioned her. I said, why did you get him Grand Theft Auto? Oh, he just wants to drive around. There's a ton of other driving around games.
Need for Speed Underground 2, for
Yeah.
instance. It's an open world.
And I'm like, there's a ton of those. She was totally... And I'm like, you see that there's a mature rating on this. Well, he doesn't know what that stuff is. Okay. So we watched him play, and yeah, sure enough, all he's doing is just like kicking a dead hobo.
I'm
And
sorry.
and the mom is telling the kid, oh, you got to stop doing that. Do other stuff. He doesn't
I
care.
sat back down the hall.
He's just gonna kick this hobo. And I told the mom, I'm like, oh no, you don't get to complain now, because you gave him that. You gave him permission to play that game how it's played. You don't get to dictate what he does in the game. Your opportunity to censor that came from whether or not you bought that game for him in the first place.
And what was the reply to that?
The game was mysteriously lost after that.
Mm,
Yeah. So it went away. And so that was kind of the end of that. But she got the point, fortunately. But like I said, that was a kid that was predisposed. I was working on him with, aggression towards his mom and towards other kids and things like that. And so, the fact that he wanted to kick a dead hobo doesn't really surprise me. But the game didn't bring that out. That was there.
it just helped him do it.
It just kind of gives him a visceral way of doing something like that.
An outlet, so to speak.
Yeah. But yeah.
In your opinion, would that have been better to use that as an outlet in that particular instance?
Well, I mean, is it better than, killing actual homeless people? Yeah, sure. But do I think that if he wasn't playing video games that he would have turned to violence? It's a pretty far stretch, And again, you can't conclusively prove something like that would be the case.
So that was one thing I wanted to bring up. I came from an abusive household, and video games for me were the only thing that I could do to escape at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's what it was. It was just an escape.
that's a. I don't know where I'm going with this, but basically, to add on to that, I still to this day, video games for me are just one big, relaxation type thing. I use it to vent. I use it to kind of take my mind off things and relax. Even games like this, if I'm angry from work or if my wife and I had a fight or something, and I come play this or Grand Theft Auto or what have you, it doesn't help fuel that anger. It's for me, it's more of an outlet and kind of an escape for a while.
Glad to see you made it through.
But that might just that's just me. That can't be said for other people or impressionable kids, for instance.
Shake it off.
What do you think, Ope?
Do better.
I've always been big on gameplay and not really the violence. Like, I got the big Grand Theft Auto. Which one was that? 3? Right?
That or San Andreas
No, the one before it. That was 3, right?
Now
should have been.
So I played it a little bit, but I didn't really enjoy it that much. So I never really craved playing Doom much. So I'm kind of up in the air on all that.
Why do you think
But
that is?
Because I like playing games to relax. It definitely helps me relax.
Non-violent games help you relax.
No, any game really. I still see it as a game and not even close to life. So I just like playing games I enjoy.
I just think that, like, arguably, if you're gonna look at, okay, so Columbine, people are like, oh, they had violent video games. You know what? They also dressed up like characters from the Matrix when they went in, guns blazing. But there wasn't as much. Oh, well, clearly, the Matrix is evil. Yeah, there probably was some people just saying that, but by and large, not so much. Outlaw trench coats. Yeah. But violent video games, by all means. I just, I'm all about finding out why things get bad, but, if you hit a dead end on something that's causing societal ills, move on.
That's the problem, though. I don't think people have recognized that it's not the games. It's almost anything but the games, or anything but the music, or the media, or...
Yeah, that
just
was.
don't want a thing to blame and not
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, we could. But the thing is that it's. Man, how did I get skinned alive again?
Fuck, I did too.
Um,
I think I was standing near you.
I threw
I think we were all
3
standing
grenades down.
each other.
Yeah, we all got cornered.
I
Siren ate
It
us.
would help if we healed each other. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, damn.
I don't mind switching over to medic after this round, whenever we're done. Because I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I was gonna say something from your guys's.
This is a horrible level. I don't know why we wanted to do this level.
Yeah, this is a bad map for this.
Let's pick Outpost.
Okay. But yeah, something from your guys' generation, like you guys said, that they started with it's the music, or it's movies, or it's video games. There's always a scapegoat that they're trying to blame. For you guys, it was music. Metal music is.
But it's always been that.
Yeah.
Shooting for a while, shooting pool. You hang out in a pool hall.
Or marijuana, or...
Right. It's
Yeah.
always something. It can't be this person is just prone to this act or this kind of behavior.
Or
There
this
always has
person
to
was
be-
treated like shit by a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There always has to be the catalyst, and this is the reason.
Yep.
And I also like how everything is once removed from guns. Like, guns are never the problem.
No.
Retarded
It's clearly
Pepe.
whatever's inspiring them to.
I like his
use.
dunce cap. It's cute.
Yeah.
Stupid loading.
Poor Opie.
Crone.
Hey, I know a disease named after that guy.
Yeah.
There we go.
Not a fun one.
No.
No.
Of course, few diseases are, so.
Really? Level 0 demolitionist?
Fuck.
Ooh, I gotta change my medic.
Got it. Don't heal that guy.
Yeah. Seriously.
Oh, no, he's a 6 support.
Oh. That's
We
Like
all have to start
survivals?
someplace.
he's going
19 times
survivals.
better.
Yeah.
All right. Follow me. I know the way.
Do you know the way?
I do know the way.
Alright,
Yeah.
So this is the backup rendezvous. Not rendezvous. Rally point. The main one is up here.
So I remember having a discussion with my mom one of the last major times that this topic came up. And me and my mom and my brother and I are standing there, and I hear her say to another adult, well, my kids never played those violent video games.
Ha!
And my brother and I are like, we played Mortal Kombat in your house. And she goes, what? And I said, yeah.
Come
we
on, guys.
absolutely
Keep coming up the
did."
hill, please. Yeah.
And,
You
and,
got
and
guys
she's like,
dropping down on you. Watch out.
she's like, I had no idea. Well, yeah, we didn't play them with you. But we did play them. And she's like, well, so then what happened? Then we continued being humans
Ah!
and didn't kill people. Like, what do you mean what happened? You raised us. You were pretty much there for childhood.
And your brother's a little out there, but
I mean, look at me.
But I mean, you know, we grew up to be professionals and, you know, semi-respectable. We're a little weird, but we're not gunning people down. I don't think a single one of us even owns a gun. I'm pretty sure the
Technically, I
last
do.
time I owned a gun, the last time I shot a gun was probably a BB gun when I was a kid.
I shot the hell out of BB guns.
Yeah, I had a high-powered pellet rifle, so to speak.
The pod safely open.
Hey, Josh, if you can at all help it, try to stand right next to me.
I like it when everyone
Every time, or Icy, every time we go into Z mode, we release a healing spray.
Yep.
Well, I actually
But,
lived through that round, so that makes me happy.
Yeah. But to kind of hit on what you brought up, Josh, about you know, your parents raised you right. I think that's
make your choices.
an issue nowadays. And I'm not saying that parents nowadays are a lot worse than they used to be, but I feel like it's an excuse for poor parenting. You know, if you raise your child poorly or you didn't discipline them enough or something like that, you can say, oh, well, you know, they act this way because of the video games. When in reality, it's you didn't put a firm hand to your kid's ass when you needed it.
Well,
Which I know some people are against, but
I think that I think it's just not when you're not involved
Back to work.
in what's going on with your kid. You know, I mean, there's just so many like parents who couldn't name their kid's teacher. And
right.
Or they assumed that you never played Mortal Kombat?
yeah, for example, like in their living room on the Nintendo they bought them.
Super NES.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. But still, it's, you know, having an idea of what's going on with your kids makes all the difference in the world,
Yeah.
I think.
It does.
You know, I acknowledge my kid's not going to tell me absolutely everything,
Healy grenade in the
But-
middle.
but I think there's going to be enough
Watch your
that-
back, Ope.
if things are going really bad,
Thank you.
then I'm going to have some clue. You know?
Yeah, and I think that's where what I kind of hinted at earlier with the whole parents have to buy the video games for their kids, and it's up to them to know if their child is mentally mature enough for, you know, a video game of that rating. And if you don't talk to your kids or you don't spend time with your kids, there's no way of knowing. You know, they might put on a good front, but if you don't spend enough time with them, you're never going to know how they actually are. You know?
Well, and the kids are going to want, they're going to think, absolutely, I'm totally mature enough for this. Because we're all idiots when we're younger.
When
the
we're
heck?
younger. Did you just die, Josh?
Yeah, I did.
The
Ow.
shit, man.
All of, I don't know. Anyway, you know, people think that they can handle stuff, and so they insist that they can do these things. And like for example, you know, my daughter watching movies. I love to watch movies with her, but like I went and saw Black Panther, which I thought was an awesome movie. I would love for her to see it for some reasons, but I'm not going to have her see it now because there's still a lot of violence and stuff in there that at 8 she doesn't really need to see. It's gonna bother her. I know it's gonna bother her.
And do you happen to know, is that one PG or PG-13?
It's PG-13. Yeah, but I've seen old PG movies too, like Goonies. There's some stuff in some of those old PG movies that's like, holy crap.
That's my go-to reference, is that The Breakfast Club is rated R and Jaws was rated PG.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times we watched the Goonies in junior high.
Oh yeah. With like,
I don't know if PG-13 was around before Goonies, though.
No, that's the thing. Our movies were X.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like PG, R, or X. About it, I think.
Well,
Watch your back, Josh.
retarded whatever is dead.
Good.
I did.
Healy
Yeah.
grenade in this little hallway.
Dang it.
Crone, don't let yourself get cornered. Siren behind me. Dead.
Another Hilly grenade out. Jesus, I almost died.
Yeah, sirens in this are pretty ridiculous.
Behind us.
So, as far as if we are to blame video games, so to speak, who would you guys blame more? The companies making the video games, the rating, the people who, you know, come up with the rating system and decide to rate the games, whatever they are, or the parents for allowing the children to play the video games? Like, who would you place the most blame in, if any?
Probably if in that scenario, if I believe that, I would have to go with the last one, with the parents, because manufacturers are going to make what's going to sell.
Right.
You know, the ratings people are going to rate stuff. That doesn't mean that manufacturers aren't going to sell stuff. You know, as I'd kind of discussed before. So I think, you know, not having an idea of what's going on with your kids and just not caring about some of that stuff is pretty detrimental.
I think it should be pointed out that when you try to censor art or censor things, it's more common that extremes will come out of that. So,
Yeah.
like Japan,
Whoa.
for instance, has a very tight policy on like nudity and and showing genitalia and whatnot,
Mhm.
but yet they have, the cheerleader tentacle rape movies, and they have
Yeah.
I have your
used underwear vending machines, and
I have your SMG, RC.
Thanks. You can keep it. I'm fine.
Okay. I'm going to be able to get my assault rifle this wave.
Sweet. I love that assault rifle.
More Zeds on the way. Start to wrap things up, as they say.
Opie, you haven't said a whole lot.
Thoughts, sir.
Hurry up. Zeds are getting closer.
And he'll continue to not say a lot, evidently.
I guess.
All right.
Opie?
Port's closed.
Did we lose Opie?
No, I had to take
Oh,
Okay.
and you got real quiet again.
Yeah, did you put your
There you go.
headset
There
on
you go.
your top of your head or something?
I just put it. I muted it actually.
This is not a great place to be.
No.
Nope. There's a siren down there, so
I'm trying to stick with you, RC.
Okay.
yeah, if you need healing or you notice your health's getting low, feel free to call out and one of us will focus on you.
We won't heal you, but we'll stare really hard.
Yes.
Awkward.
Watch
We
your
will-
eye.
He is
We will
almost
watch with
dead.
intensity.
Got a siren.
I don't see a siren. What are you talking about?
I see meat pulp.
Yum. Want to make some stew? Grenade in the middle. Watch behind you.
Anybody have any other thoughts?
Um,
I think it's crap and it'll go away at some point here. They'll.
It's just like it's so fatty.
It's. You know, Joseph Lieberman was bringing this crap up in the 80s, and he's still talking about it. And we have rating systems and no
Wow.
credible
What the
evidence
hell?
that any
What's
of
going
this. You know, I'm sitting here blowing up zombies and monsters, and I have no desire to continue this after I turn off the machine.
right, but would
Right
you
behind you, RC.
would you consider that part of you being more mature, or just the way you were raised, or?
You know, it's a also a kind of a level of reality. You know, like I can
Scrake.
differentiate between what
Healy grenade.
people are
Straight
gonna yeah, I can differentiate
Right.
between reality and fantasy and acknowledge that you don't just do this, you know. I
Right.
don't check my morals just because I'm playing a game. But I also don't think that other things are inherently evil. Even as an addictions counselor, I don't think alcohol is inherently evil. If it was, everybody who drank alcohol would become an alcoholic. It's just not the way it is.
We're almost out of time.
That's a very good point. Anything you can add, OP?
No. I was kind of wondering what you guys thought about gun kills and melee kills. Like, have you ever seen the melee kills you do in the Battlefield games?
I have not.
When you knife them, pretty much slit their throat open.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it, like,
Well-
it shows you grabbing the guy, lifting him up, and then it's crazy. In fact, in the Battlefield game I played, you steal their dog tags because you slit their throat and cut the chain.
Shit. Yeah. You
I
know, and
suppose I can see that.
I think there's something to be said for taste. You know?
But they also made those dog tags collectibles. So I would say that that's pretty much encouraging violence.
Right.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know if any of you have played the newest Doom that just came out last year or the year before.
Probably just RC.
Yeah, I did. Why?
The glory kill mechanic.
Hmm.
Yeah, like melee's always been a big aspect as far as Doom goes, and a lot of shooters nowadays, melee's usually like a one-hit kill, or Call of Duty knifing is a one-hit kill. Where in Doom, melee, it's powerful, but if you weaken them enough, you get a glory kill, which is a specialized kill from the angle in which you melee the enemy. So it's basically you get bonus points for getting glory kills and things. So they're emphasizing you to be more, gory, more violent. I'm dead. And they're kind of, it's a glory kill. They're, pushing you to do more brutal, more gory, more violent things. And you're getting, bonuses for it. Whereas, Doom's already an extremely violent game with just the gunplay.
In Diablo 2, when you killed a player in PvP, you got to collect their ears.
I don't remember that.
How Universal Soldier.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Me and Outlaw X got slashed up at the same time.
Surprise butt sex.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Ta-da! What?
There's a Gorfing
Behind
here, right,
you.
Opie?
Yep.
Go!
Whoa. Okay, everything in the world on your left, right, behind you.
You. Yeah.
Oh, I'm in a shooting range.
Everything aids hope.
Die.
Run!
Don't forget to auto heal yourself. Yep. There you go. Alright, I'm gonna make a quick run to the restroom really quick. I'll be right back.
You got something on your tail, RC.
His name is Gary.
Yeah,
He's my
Well.
squishy.
he seems to hate you, so
He does.
he does.
Ah, let me get outside, you bastards. Oh shit, this is the wrong way outside. This is the starting point. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. Hope he didn't stand a chance on that one. He went off into one area and went, oops, crap.
So anyway, I thought those melee kill ideas were kind of crazy. Just how they do that. It's nuts.
Yeah, and I think, and to me, there's like a big difference because, like when Mortal Kombat came out with the fatalities, everybody's like, oh my god, that's terrible. Well, you know what? I don't know anybody who grabs someone by the throat and rips out their spine. Well, that's not a thing.
They were also a button combination. It's not like
Yeah.
it was you had to do one thing and it worked.
Yeah. But I think there is something to be said about the fact that, you're rewarded for coming up behind a person, slashing their throat and taking the dog tags off their neck.
Should we play some Rocket League?
Yeah,
So
we
that we
can.
don't get aggressive towards ourselves.
I'm up for some Rocket League.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright.